Good morning and welcome to our weekly men's volleyball press conference. We'll go ahead and start the press conference with an opening statement from Coach Knipe. Then we'll open it up to questions from the media.
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to just kind of recap last week. And like I said after the match, and thank the fans for coming out, especially the student section. It's nice to be home. And we have obviously a nice February schedule to give them lots of matches to come out and play, or not play, but support us. I know the guys appreciate it, so it was great. It's a great venue to play in, but when it's packed, it's a lot of fun. So yeah, I thought last week was good for us. I thought Loyola is obviously a very good team, and they had a really good response after their loss to Concordia, which I think that our guys did a good job of expecting that, and I think we played a really good first set up until about 20, and then there was a couple opportunities I think that we let get away. But over the course of the match, I thought there was a lot of good. I thought that obviously Nathan Harlan did a great job coming in, but more than anything, we continue to grow as a team offensively and block and defense and transition and just learning how to deal with the ebbs and flows of a match. So I thought our guys off the bench did a good job. Our serving subs did a good job. So there was a lot of good. But at the same time, I think that we have to continue to believe in the fact that you can learn just as much from wins as losses. So how we're going to attain our goal of getting 1 or 2% better is going to be taking the areas that we feel like we could have been better or we would like to be better at and having some areas of focus. And then the balance always has to be to continue to try to find ways to water the green spots, things that are going well. So you continue to take that slow climb throughout the season. But yeah, there was a lot of good, and we look forward to what we're going to get into now. For the next 2 weeks, it'll be a little bit more like Big West, where we have the same opponent twice. So that's good for us. That's something we haven't always done in February. We've played a lot of the local non-conference matches, but we haven't played them where they're back-to-back like Big West. So this gives us quality opponents and in a format that we're going to have to get used to real quick here.
Coach, just to recap, one question on last game and last match. What was kind of maybe what you said or maybe what you guys can look forward to, because you were outblocked for much of the match and then you caught up and near the end, but it's something that hasn't happened too much early on in the season.
Yeah. Well, I think sometimes also, first of all, you have to give credit to the other team, and they have talented guys at the pin, and they did a good job pushing some tempo. But I also don't think we did a great job serving the ball early. And if you're not going to serve the ball well, you don't end up getting in a lot of situations where you can block a lot of balls, right? So I think it was a combination of serving the ball better as the match went on, then picking up the tempo of their offense and what they were trying to do, and we made better moves as it went on. I do think that the area that I thought we were really good at was our help blockers reacting, and our out-of-system blocking, three-man blocking was really, really good for us. And that's been a big area of focus for us in our gym. So you like when you see that. So would I have liked to get on it a little quicker? Yeah, but I think it's easy to look at we're not blocking balls early in the match when I look at the total opportunities wasn't where we would like it to be. And then we certainly didn't cause enough stress to, blocking is really, really difficult when the other team's in system all the time. So it's a combination of getting them out of system, taking advantage of getting the quote unquote easier blocks when they're out of system. And then when you get those, you tend to block the ball better in system. And I think we found that as the match went on, and we certainly blocked significantly better in the back half of the match. But yeah, I think it was a little bit of a slow start in a lot of areas, but blocking defense was one of them.
Coach, we had career highs from both Clark Godbold and Simon Torwey. Can we just talk a little bit about those performances and what's been working for them and what you're looking to continue to see from them in the gym?
Well, Clark's just been carrying a big load, for us. And when I say not a ridiculously big number of attempts, well, when I say a big load, meaning like he's getting big swings at big moments, and has been the guy with a really good hitting percentage, for a big chunk of the season. We don't want to get caught up too much in the idea that we want this guy's numbers to be here and this guy's numbers to be here, because there's going to be matches that guys have more swings than other guys. What we want is we want Aiden to feel really comfortable setting anybody at any time. That's when we'll be the team we want to be. And I think that we're getting closer to that. I think that what Spencer Olivia has been able to do for since the beginning of the season for us, he's been that guy for sure. Sotos has been great. Our middles are hitting for a really high number. Clark's been really good. Our middle of the court, front row, back row has been good. Clark out of the back row has been good. As we can continue to develop that, what I want is to water the green spots with Clark and with Simon, and then expand what they can do with varying routes and things that we can do with them to keep finding ways to stress our opponent and find ways to keep pushing their athleticism, because I really think there's a tremendous amount of meat left on the bone for this team offensively and on the block and defense side.
And coach, for UCLA upcoming, they just lost to Penn State. I mean, it's not a really comparable loss to what Loyola Chicago suffered the night before, but would you take that into account into maybe just telling your team they might be just as mad, looking forward to bounce back as well this week?
Yeah, we don't get caught up too much in any of that stuff, really, other than giving respect to the opponent we're going to play, that they're always going to play well. There's going to be response, and it seems to be each team we play wants to play really well, and that's a good thing for our program. So we'll go about it the way we go about the week. We expect the opponent we have this week and next week to come in playing February style volleyball. And that means they've now had a couple of weeks to figure some things out. They're playing more comfortable in this year's version of their team and being as aggressive as they possibly can. And this is kind of why you schedule like you do in February. So yeah, we'll identify some of those obvious things about the opponent, but the biggest thing for us is being prepped to play the way we want to play on both sides of the ball. And then the intangible parts, all right? We talk about our grit all the time, about our ability to play defense and cover and win long rallies, and the extra effort, our team dynamic, our energy, our communication, things that we have total control over. And those are areas that you have to train and you have to focus on. There's not a lot of drills per se, but you have to talk about it and hold each other accountable to it, and make sure at the end of practice when you're watching video that you're seeing what you want to see in things that aren't just X's and O's. And we are, don't get me wrong. I think for the better part of this whole season, I have not had to talk a whole lot about that in our matches with our guys. And that's always a great sign of things to come.
And coach, 20 years at the helm, and UCLA always seems like an opponent that there's excitement around the match or the weekend. And can you speak to the rivalry, or even if you guys aren't in the same conference, it's still as strong as it used to be?
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, there's two parts to that. 20 years as 20 years as being the head coach. Yeah, I guess in one way it feels like it. And in other ways, it absolutely doesn't. So it's an absolute honor to coach this program. I feel like that every time we take a match. It's the greatest job in America, and I get to do it, and I feel fortunate. When it comes to UCLA, whether they're in the Big West or the MPSF, and there's, they're right up the freeway, and obviously a very good volleyball program, and they have been historically a very good volleyball program. So there's a lot of ties to the program as far as the way the guys grew up playing volleyball and all that. And the fact that fans can get easily to Westwood or get to Long Beach, it generates a lot of excitement. And there's been a lot of really, really good matches over the years. So my hope is those continue. That's why we schedule with them. That's why we continue to schedule with them. It helps us, and I would imagine it helps them prepare for our ultimate goals in the season. And it's also great volleyball for our fans and for our team.
Is there a favorite memory that you can tell us about this UCLA rivalry?
Not really. I mean, to be honest with you, I try not to go down memory road with any of it. There's been a whole bunch of really, really good ones, but I'm gonna stick to what I like to tell my team, and that is we're gonna stay involved in this week and Thursday nights. Let's try to get after Thursday night. We'll worry about memories when I'm even older.
Thank you, Coach.
All right. Thank you.